So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at how you can remove falsy values from an array. And if you don't know what a falsy value is, it's simply something that evaluates to false in JavaScript. So it could be the false keyword, or it could also be the null and undefined values, but also things like 0 also evaluate to false. So it might be a case that you've got an array and you're only interested in the non-falsy values or the truthy values in there, and you just want to get rid of all of those other falsy values. So the way we're going to do this with our example here is to use the filter function. So this is exactly what the filter function was designed for, to actually remove any values that don't match a particular condition. So for each of the items in the array, we're going to check them. And the very base level way of doing this would be to check each item individually against each of the falsy values. So you could say if the item does not equal false, then keep it. Or if the item does not equal undefined, for example, then we'll keep it. But obviously this is a bit of a wordy way of saying it, and there are lots of better ways of doing the same thing. So the first thing you might see people do is to actually provide the filter function with the item, but just use the not operator, which basically coerces the item into a Boolean value and then decides whether to keep it in the array or not. So if we use that approach, you can see we're only left with the whole numbers in the array, and you can shorten this by removing the not operator, and you still get the same result, because the filter function is just testing whether the item is falsy or not. And that's fine to do, but it does start to make the code look a little bit unreadable because the intention of what is trying to be achieved there is slightly misleading, although it does work. As you can see, we've still got the falsy values removed. But the preferred way of doing it is to shorten this even further by removing the actual function that we're passing into the filter function completely, and then just passing in the keyword Boolean, the Boolean object, into here. And the filter function will use the Boolean object to test whether or not the values are truthy or not. There you have it, a few different ways that you can filter falsy values from an array, and using this Boolean object is probably the preferred method. And as a plus side, it gives you the shortest code as well. So that's it for filtering falsy values from an array. Stay tuned for more web dev tips.